If you are looking forward to the Logan Paul vs Floyd Mayweather fight, then be sure to show this by smashing the like button. This fight should be a no-brainer. The best boxer of this generation, Floyd "Money" Mayweather, should be able to take Logan Paul to elementary boxing school. However, this is not the Floyd Mayweather of old. Instead, this is an old Floyd Mayweather. Can we expect this old version of Floyd to simply easily beat over the biggest opponent in size he's ever faced with ease? In the end, this is the fight game where one punch can change everything. But time will always tell us the truth. That being said, let us now take a closer look into the Logan Paul vs Floyd Mayweather fight, and welcome back to Keenan KTV. It's been said that Floyd Mayweather is undefeated, but his undefeated streak is nothing compared to Father Time's. That record has yet to be broken, and at some point, Father Time catches up to even the best among us. So for Floyd Mayweather, can we confidently say that that won't be the case? Who knows? What we do know is that Floyd is a man molded by the sport of boxing, and this mold seemingly hasn't been broken yet. The man's abilities might have deteriorated over the years, but not by a very rapid and big margin. His skills have always been consistent throughout the years, from his youth to his old age before retiring, and in his return fights with Conor McGregor and Tenshin Nasukawa, he was able to stop these high-level fighters with ease. So who's to say that Floyd Mayweather all of a sudden, overnight, became washed up and old? I personally believe that we will see a Mayweather consistent in skill with those of his last few fights. One factor in this fight which is not a consistency is the size. Logan Paul is massive. It is safe to say that this size will be the biggest obstacle to overcome for Floyd, because it most certainly is not the skill of Logan. Logan's size, however, is not something we can undermine, since it will create a massive range Floyd has to penetrate through to get to Logan, and if Logan is smart, he will stay behind the jab and on the outside of the ring and keep Floyd Mayweather at bay. If he can do this, he should be able to zone out Floyd Mayweather, but this is easier said than done because Logan Paul is merely a novice at the sport of boxing, and this zoning out is the big question mark. However, how long will he be able to zone out Floyd Mayweather, and can he even stick a big power right straight behind it, and will that punch even connect? Will he be as gun shy as he was against KSI? If that's the case, Floyd would simply use a smaller and faster frame to pull counter the slow jabs and straight of Logan and come over the top with a pop shot and counter him all night long with ease. And in my opinion, Logan Paul will just really stick behind his long reach and just stay on the outside all night long. But this commitment can only be played for so long before it becomes a repetitive pattern and before it gets figured out by Floyd. Remember that a fighter needs to be able to adapt. If he cannot adapt, then he will be caught cold. And Logan Paul has shown nothing of that nature in terms of adapting in his fights with KSI. He didn't turn up when he needed to. He didn't expand his fighting punch output. He kept himself with a jab, and sometimes he would throw a right straight, but rarely he would sit down and push back the much weaker and smaller KSI. So he let KSI be the ring general by committing in his mind to this wannabe slickster boxer mover fighter. Against Floyd Mayweather, you're not gonna out slick, you're not gonna outbox, and you're not gonna out maneuver, and you're not gonna out style Floyd Money Mayweather. It's simply not possible when you're Logan Paul. And not to mention that big open body of Logan Paul, which Floyd Mayweather will target from the outside with a jab. Floyd's body jab will be something that will be the most significant punch all night long. Floyd has done it to the elite of the boxing world, and against a slow, big, stiff Logan Paul, this will be the safest and easiest shot that he can connect with. And because he's so fast, I highly doubt that Logan Paul will be able to slip in a big nice counter uppercut like the one that Conor McGregor landed on Floyd. Not to mention the skill, timing, accuracy, fighting experience, and championship level caliber fighting Conor McGregor has done compared to Logan Paul. It is just a night and day difference that, in my opinion, is going to be the biggest display between a novice and an all-time great in any sport. Now coming back to Floyd Mayweather and going to the body, this will be the game changer in my opinion. The body jab will be used as a buffer shot for Floyd, because without a question Logan Paul will stick behind a long range, stick behind a jab and keep moving. So it will be pretty hard for Floyd to initially get in, but that safe shot, the body jab, will be there all night long. And as soon as Floyd connects with this buffer shot, the body jab, he will force a reaction out of Logan, and that reaction is where mistakes will start to be made from Logan Paul's side. He will give out a reaction. Floyd will adjust himself to this reaction. He will condition Logan Paul to keep thinking low, 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 and all of a sudden he's gonna pop low with a jab and then bring over the top a power straight right hand that will probably connect flush. Logan Paul's defense is not very good. He relies on his long range to keep himself out of the danger. And luckily for Logan Paul, he's got a lot of weight on Floyd Mayweather, a lot of height. So Floyd Mayweather's punches, in my opinion, will not really hurt him as much as it would have if he was the same size as Floyd Mayweather. But that being said, this is really an uphill battle for Logan Paul from all fronts. He's really lucky that he's as big as he is, because this will really give him a natural challenge for Floyd initially. But these natural gifts and attributes and things of this nature will only get you so far. So let's see what Logan Paul can do with all of these natural gifts and apply some of his skill. Now we have to talk about the experience. I mean, come on guys. Floyd Mayweather became a world champion in 1998. This year, Logan Paul was only 3 years old. And ever since then, up until his retirement in 2016-17, Floyd Mayweather remained a world champion and the pound for pound best fighter in the boxing world for over 20 years. Logan Paul is only 25, 26 years old. Can you imagine that? Floyd Mayweather has forgotten more about the sport of boxing than Logan has yet to learn. It is borderline insanity to even pair up these two in the same ring, but here we are. And really, luckily for Logan, Floyd is 44 years of age, so he's dealing with a more weathered and deteriorated Floyd Mayweather. But even this version of Floyd on his worst day can beat Logan on his best day all day long and twice on a Sunday. Perhaps the only saving factor for Logan Paul in this matchup is yet again not due to his skill, but his natural gift of size and power. Mass times acceleration equals force. So if Logan Paul manages to even catch Floyd Mayweather with a power right straight, this will be as if Floyd got hit with the biggest hammer he's ever gotten hit with. A fully charged Logan Paul power right could be really dangerous for him. Add on top of the fact that Floyd is old and retired, the combination of just those two factors of being old and retired is already a bad sign to take a big powerful punch. Add on top the power and size and strength and the youth of a giant like Logan Paul. This screams out concerns of what could happen, because this could be fatal. Now, having said all of this presumes that Logan Paul has the skills necessary to even connect with a power punch on the best defensive wizard boxing history has ever seen. Can it happen? Sure it can. But will it happen? In the end, only time will tell what will truly happen. For now, leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. As always, I have been Keenan from Keenan KTV, signing off. Later.